Hi everyone, I'm Edana, the broker and owner of Vintage American Realty here on Long Island, as well as an approved New York State real estate instructor. My videos are for home buyers, home sellers, and real estate agents, and at the beginning of each video, I will let you know who it's geared toward. Today's video will be especially helpful for homeowners thinking about selling in the next few years, as well as agents who are advising their sellers. So today I'm going to talk about one of the biggest misconceptions that I hear, especially as of late. A homeowner will tell me, Edana, I just spent $80,000 updating our house. I put in brand new windows and a roof, so our home has got to be worth $80,000 more than the last estimate you gave us. So unfortunately, that's usually not how real estate works. Don't get me wrong, updates of course add value. In fact, updated homes always sell faster and for more money, attract more buyers, and generally do command a higher price point than similar homes that have not been updated. But most renovations do not return every dollar you spend. The real value isn't always just in the appraisal. It's also just making your home desirable, reducing any buyer objections, creating stronger competition, and helping justify a higher asking price. So today I want to walk through the updates that typically do provide the best return when you're preparing to sell, explain why they matter, and help you decide where your money is best spent. So most people probably already know that the number one place to best spend your money is in the kitchen. It's the most obvious one. It is still one of the biggest selling features in almost every home in any market. Buyers spend more time looking at kitchens than almost any other room, and it's often where they emotionally decide where they love a house, whether they love a house. An updated kitchen can absolutely increase your home's value and marketability. However, there is a point where spending more money doesn't necessarily create more value. For example, installing a beautiful, functional kitchen with quality cabinets, quartz or granite countertops, updated appliances, attractive lighting, and timeless design will always have a significant impact. But installing a $200,000 designer kitchen in a neighborhood where the homes typically sell for $500,000, for example, probably isn't going to return every dollar that you invested. So what kind of return can you expect? A well-planned kitchen remodel is the strongest returns you'll see, but it still typically recoups a substantial portion of the investment rather than the entire cost. So the key is matching the renovation to your neighborhood and to the general value of your home. And I'll touch on that more later. The second renovation that I recommend is bathrooms. Again, kind of obvious. Bathrooms are another room that buyers immediately judge. The good news is that they don't necessarily have to be extravagant. They just have to be clean, updated, and modern fixtures, good lighting, little details like fresh caulking does go a long way. Really just being very clean. Sometimes replacing a vanity, mirror, lighting, toilet, and fixtures can completely transform the space without having to do a full renovation. And so on bathrooms, the updates generally provide a strong return because they're highly visible improvements that buyers can immediately appreciate. Again, don't necessarily expect dollar for dollar, but they're usually money very well spent. Third on my list is flooring and fresh paint. I'm grouping these together because I think they're some of the best values available. Nothing dates a home faster than worn carpet, damaged flooring, or brightly colored walls that fit someone else's taste. So fresh, neutral paint immediately makes a home feel brighter, cleaner, and move-in ready, as well as a nice updated floor. Refinishing hardwood floors or replacing worn flooring also changes the entire feel of the home. Again, it just makes it feel so much cleaner. If you have hardwood floors already and you just don't maybe like how they look or you're not sure, I would definitely recommend just refinishing them. If you have carpet currently that could use some replacing, or linoleum, or floors that you just know are not exactly what a buyer is looking for, I recommend putting in luxury vinyl plank flooring. I think it is a great return on your investment. It doesn't cost nearly as much as putting in hardwood flooring, or I guess some of them can, but you will get so much more of your money back because flooring is one of the most important things, I think, in a house. These improvements aren't always the most exciting, but they really make an enormous difference during showings. And so these projects can often provide some of the highest returns relative to what they cost because they're relatively inexpensive while still dramatically improving how the home looks and shows. Number 4 on my list is curb appeal. And I'm sure everyone has heard it before. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Before buyers ever walk through your front door, they've already started forming an opinion. Fresh mulch, trimmed landscaping, pressure washing, updated exterior lighting, making sure that all the lights do work, a freshly painted front door, modern house numbers. These aren't expensive projects, but together they can completely change how buyers feel before they've even stepped inside your house. And on these, curb appeal improvements are generally inexpensive and often produce an excellent return because they increase buyer interest from the very beginning. Number 5 on my list, major system improvements. This is the section I think surprises homeowners the most. I'm talking about new windows, new roof, new siding, new exterior doors, HVAC systems, boilers, hot water heaters. So here's the most accurate expectation that I can give you. Improvements like these absolutely add value, but they typically do not return dollar for dollar what you spent. Instead, buyers view these updates as major bonuses. So when buyers see newer windows, a newer roof, or a recently replaced heating system, they're thinking that is one less expense that I do not have to worry about. These updates improve energy efficiency, which often means lower utility bills. They can improve curb appeal, and many come with transferable warranties that also give buyers additional peace of mind. So most importantly, they help your home stand out against competing homes that still have older systems. And I think that is the key thing about these. So while replacing every window in your home may not increase your home's value by exactly what you spent, it absolutely helps you push forward to the higher end of the value range. It makes the home more attractive, and it often reduces the time on the market, and it gives buyers more confidence when making strong offers. They will always go back to those items and say, well, at least it has new windows, it has new roof. We won't have to worry about that anytime in the near future. And these benefits are incredibly valuable. Number 6 on my list is deferred maintenance. This is different from upgrading. This is simply fixing things that you've been putting off. Loose railings, leaky faucets, broken tiles, water stains, peeling paint, cracked walkways. These are small issues that tell buyers that the home just hasn't been maintained and taken care of, even if it's not actually true. So one small repair usually isn't a big deal, but 20 small repairs become a red flag for them. So fix them before listing, which is always what I advise my sellers. Updates that I'd think twice about if your goal is resale, and I never think that homeowners should update any space in their home with the next buyer in mind, because I think that you should be enjoying your space. But if you are planning to sell soon and you know that you need some updating to do to get the highest number you can on your home that is not going to break the bank for you right now, these are the updates that I think twice about for resale. There are certainly exceptions, but I would be cautious about making these investments solely because you think they'll dramatically increase your home's value. So luxury appliances that far exceed the neighborhood values, highly customized finishes, very expensive landscaping projects, converting bedrooms into specialty rooms, ultra high-end renovations that make your home significantly nicer than surrounding homes, kind of for no reason. If you're doing these because you will enjoy them for years, then that's different and that's wonderful. Your home should make you happy. But if your goal is simply to maximize resale value, I would spend that money elsewhere. And my biggest piece of advice before you spend thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars renovating your home is to have a local real estate agent walk through it. Not because we're contractors, but because we hear buyer feedback every single day. Sometimes I tell a homeowner not to spend $1, and other times I will recommend painting, refinishing the floor, replacing light fixtures, updating a bathroom, or replacing old windows because I know that the buyers are going to notice. Every neighborhood is different, every price range is different, every buyer is different, and the goal isn't to spend the most money. The goal is to spend your money where buyers will appreciate it the most. So that's how you maximize not only your home's value, but also its marketability, which is the most important thing when selling your home. So if you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. I post practical, honest real estate advice for buyers, sellers, and agents. I'm trying to do it every week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.